So this is a good time for you. I mean, we're not interrupting you, Desperate Housewives or, Al's Sponge Bath or something,
By the way, it's Real Housewives. Al does not
Right.
get a sponge bath from me, and he doesn't get a sponge bath from anyone, just his own self. And
Yeah.
this was a good time because I've
Good.
been working
I'm
all
good.
day, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I appreciate you because you've worked all day.
Yeah. So
So
that's me. That's me. I know. Well, I mean, we got in probably about 1 a.m. from the show, and then my alarm goes off at 4:30. It's like, time to go.
I know we
That's what
all
I
do.
told Al today. I said it's the rock and roll life, and I'm used to doing it with the guys, that I roadie for. So you get home 2, 3 in the morning, and then you just get a cup of coffee and go to work.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's
So,
fun though.
Mark, tell everybody a little bit about you and why you're so into music.
Why I'm so into music?
Hmm.
Well, I think that I can remember way back with my parents when I was little. Just they played music all the time in the house. They always had Elvis on or the Temptations and Buddy Holly and Little Richard. I mean, they played all kind of music. So I remember as a kid, and then listening to the radio programs with the comedy DJs. The talk shows in the morning. My mom would listen to them, and then they'd play music. And from that point on, I've just been a huge music fan.
And, that's my parents weren't really truly into music.
Mhm.
However, I don't know where it came from for me because, unlike you, I didn't have music playing from my parents. I
Okay.
played it, I
Did you?
listened to it.
Yeah.
I had my little radio, and I
Yeah,
always,
of course. I think we all did. Yeah, we had our radios and then, the turntables and the records. So that's where it started with me. Definitely.
absolutely, absolutely. And is Dawn the same way? Does she share your passion?
She was into music when we met, and it was so funny because we would stay on the phone. You know how when you meet someone, you're on the phone for hours and talking.
Remember that?
We would quiz each other on music. She would be in her room at her house playing music and saying, "Do you know this song?" And then I would do the same thing and try to stump each other. So yeah, I'd say that we had the same passion. It was cool. Yeah.
It was love at first musical sight.
Well, we met in a teen nightclub.
Oh my God. So underage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back then they had teen nights where the teenagers can go in, but they didn't serve alcohol, but they
Yeah.
got the club experience where you can go in and listen to a live band. So that's where we met. We met at a
You
teen
know,
club or teen night.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't go to the teen clubs. I went straight to the regular clubs.
Did
And
you with the fake ID?
I did. I had a fake ID. And I will tell you. So, what I did
Yep.
was, and I actually just told Al this story not too long ago. So, I had my license and I literally went to, I don't even know if we had Staples, but it was something, little transferable letters. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally put on, scratched on little transferable letters onto my license, every single one. So it didn't look obvious like the date was just
Yep.
changed. Worked
Back
every
then,
day.
the license, you could peel the plastic back and then change it. You can actually pen in the date you wanted. Yeah, I remember. I did it.
Oh, see, mine, you couldn't do that. I
Yeah,
literally,
I did.
oh, Mark, you were lucky. Yours was
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, it was easy. Yeah. And then of course then you start to get to know the door guys at the clubs and they just wave you through. So, that's the way it works. You know the game. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. You
So
know.
bad, though. Like, really, you think back and go, what? Really? And I never told my kids that. I'm just saying. I'm
I
just
know. I did.
pointing that out.
But I mean, I,
So,
I lived at clubs. I mean, anytime, I mean, because we had the huge club here, it was called Hammerjacks.
oh,
And
wow.
that was the huge club, the biggest club on the East Coast at that time. And they were as big as the West Coast with the whiskey. I mean, the West Coast knew of Hammerjacks on this side. So it
Dang.
was a huge club and everybody who was anybody came through and played. And I remember seeing Guns N' Roses there right before Appetite came out, right before they hit it big. They were
Can
there,
you
and it's
imagine? Do you think back and go, what happened? Like, wow, that's
right,
so
right.
cool.
And I still say that I lived in the best music time. The 80s were the best. I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
biased, but back then, I mean, to be able to do all that and see the bands up close, you know,
Yeah.
nobody will get to experience that again.
I
You
know.
know,
It's just blessed, right? You
it
were
is.
very blessed. And then you turned around and became a roadie.
I did. I did. Yeah,
So
I've been
how
a
did
roadie
that
for
all
about
work?
6. I actually, my cousin was in a cover band, a Motley Crue cover band named Notley Crue. And they did the dress up and the gimmick and all that stuff. So he asked me if I wanted to help out one night, and I did. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, there was a local band that needed some help, and word got around, and they introduced me. And 6 years later, here I am with them. And they're a local / regional band, and they've traveled around the country and played for big name bands and opened for pretty big name bands, Night Ranger, you know.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, we played with a lot of bands, so it's
So
fun.
Notley Crew,
Notley Crew.
what do they think about the whole Vince debacle?
Depends on which band member you talk to. You know,
Really? Everybody
yeah,
has different opinions?
they do. They do. I mean, a lot of people just say that Vince is just done, that he should move on. And, you know, other people say that he was the voice and he needs to get himself together to do these stadium shows, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I kind of hope he does, but I don't know.
I do. I mean, I remember seeing Vince in his solo, you know, in some of the clubs, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
But then I've seen him recently, you know, when he came through, you know, Maryland here a couple of years back at a fair, and you know, horrible, you know,
Yeah. Well, the
horrible.
crazy thing is about Vince, not we're getting off topic just a little bit, but
But
when he performed a song or two with Sammy
mhm,
Hagar not too long ago in Florida, he
wasn't
sounded
that
great.
great? He did.
Yeah, he
He did.
sounded
So
great. And then the week after, what the heck happened?
what happened exactly?
So
I don't
either
know.
something's going on. Well, he has a show coming up at the Hard Rock in Florida in October. I think it's on the 14th, so I'm curious.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
curious to see how that goes. My suggestion as an outsider, they should really lock him up.
right.
Put him aside, get them all together,
Exactly. Yep.
and then you release the beast when the stadium tour
Right.
happens. Just so
I mean, he
everyone.
was awesome back in his day. He was awesome. So I'd like to see him get back to that. You know, the same way with Axl Rose. Look what happened to him. You know, he got really bad with his health and his voice and all that, but he pulled it together. You
Hey,
know,
he did a great job with AC/DC,
oh, didn't
and
he?
everybody loved that. I thought he
I
was
did. Yeah.
fantastic
Oh,
with
yep.
AC/DC, and even though Brian Johnson is back, I think that if Axel could, maybe do some appearances here and there with them when they go back
Why
out,
not?
everybody would
Why
love him.
not?
They
I mean,
loved.
Axel has that raspy voice that he fits into a lot of those type of bands. So you know, hey, why not? If it
Yeah,
works, it works.
he was a perfect fit with them for sure.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you went to the Styx and REO show last night in York, Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Tell us all about it, because I don't want to say that I'm jealous, but I haven't been to anything yet. I am
Not yet,
itching,
huh?
not yet, but I'm itching to get to a show, just trying to pick that good
Right.
show for my first one.
Hmm.
And tell us about everything.
Well, I will tell you this. You know, I've been to shows with the other band that I work for and all, but this was the first big major show that I had gone to, and Dawn went with me. I will tell you that the crowd was awesome. The place was packed. You
Nice.
could just feel the energy in the air. I mean, you sit in your seats and looked around, and I kept saying to myself, you know, during this pandemic, when we started to come out of it, and bands were doing like the drive-through shows, and then you could go to a club and see a band, but you had to stay seated. I understand they were trying to give us the music back doing that, but that was just a band-aid.
Yeah.
Last night's show, when I was there, that was the fix that the patient needed. That I'm telling you, it was electric. It was so cool. I mean, it gave you goosebumps. And you could tell when the bands came out too. they were finally glad to be back. And they said it themselves. The energy level was there. Um, that's what they love to do. And you could tell. Yeah.
And they've
It
been
was great.
performing a lot. So just them getting back out there, just boomity boomity boomity. They're just hitting the road hard. So
Hard. They are.
tell us how Styx go on first or
They
REO?
did. The
Styx
Sticks came on first, and they came out guns blazing from the start. And Sticks, I mean, it sounded like to me that they didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
It sounded like, I mean, they have always been great. I've seen them numerous times way back to the 1980, here in Baltimore, and their harmony is incredible. Their sound was almost perfect last night. I mean, their energy level, um, every band member was on, and you could tell they were on their game. And again, you could tell that they were enjoying themselves, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes you see bands that get in that rut where they're only there to do the show, to phone it in, to make the money and move on to the next state.
We've seen
Last
that.
night, last night was not that. They were there to have fun, and you could tell it wasn't a job last night. It was fun.
Well, the
And it
guys
was
at
good.
Styx, they're just into it. They've always been digging it. And Lawrence
Yeah.
Gowan, I'm sorry, I'm
Oh
partial to
my.
him. I mean, I love all the guys in the band, but
Mhm.
Lawrence to me is just I think he's the showman of our time right now because
He is.
he's so good. I mean, Adam Lambert, hello, but
Well,
Lawrence
Lawrence
Gowan,
Gowan last night was the showman, like you said. He was the showman. He was theatrical. Now, don't get me wrong. Dennis was theatrical with the band, but Lawrence takes it to a different level. He
yeah.
was dancing. He was dancing by himself. He was interacting with the crowd. So he was just having a good time. He is a showman, definitely.
So what color was Lawrence's hair?
I knew that you were going to ask me that. Um, like a gray, a lot of grayish white, maybe. And I'll
No.
tell you what, there was a lot of gray in the crowd.
Well, this is
I
our
know
this
that
is our demo.
it is. It is. I mean, it's the music we grew up on. But yes, he was. I don't even want to say salt and pepper. He was just gray.
How funny because I follow him on
Mhm.
Instagram. He's always doing some fun stuff on there. And during the
Right.
pandemic, he always threw out some songs. He would just go on
Right.
live, and he's amazing. So he's always been practicing
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing it for all of us. But it's so funny. I've seen him grow out his hair, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, is he going to go back to purple and blue and
Yeah,
pink?
I
Like,
know.
what's he going to do? But
Yeah.
he didn't. So that's
It looks like
interesting.
he hasn't got a haircut in a while either. He's let it go long and gray, and it fits him. He looked
Oh
good. I
yeah.
mean, he came out with a all white button up shirt on with a white tie, which not
Dang.
too many people, not too many people can pull that off. White shirt, white tie.
Well, Larry is,
Yeah,
he knows what's up.
yeah, definitely. So I am very, very impressed with Sticks last night. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. They can only just get better and better, just like the Doobies. I
Mhm.
I put Six in that category. They just every year is a better one than the last.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen the Doobie Brothers too, and they're just phenomenal. The harmony, it's
Oh,
I compare harmony bands. The best I've ever seen is the Eagles. The Eagles are the best harmonizing band I think I've ever seen.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. They came, they brought it. They kicked butt and they moved on. So it was
So was
cool.
everybody up dancing?
Yes, yes. There was nobody sat down.
Good.
Nobody sat down. Not at all. I mean, I was 12th row. I was 12th row
Perfect.
center. Just about was one section off the center, but no, everybody stood up from start to finish for Sticks. For
Nice.
Sticks. I'm going to emphasize that for Sticks.
Okay, so let's now talk about REO Speedwagon.
Mm-hmm. Which is a band that I grew up with.
Right.
Seen them numerous times. Seen them way back in the '80s,
Yep.
and that's the music we grew up on. Also, everybody knows their music, every word to every song. Um, I'm not one to bash bands. I'm not going to do that, and I never will. I
Yeah.
mean, I understand bands have bad nights. They have off nights. They're tired from the road, but I was not impressed last night.
Was it not
I've seen them have better shows than they did last night. And it wasn't a lack of trying. It's just, I think they were over trying, because it was one of their first shows back maybe, and they were just trying too hard. And they also went way deep. They played a lot of deep cuts that a lot of people, if you are not a true REO fan, you had no idea what the songs they were playing. They were playing from way back in 72, 73,
wow.
and
I wouldn't know that music. I wouldn't know
right.
those songs.
And they started the show. I can't remember the name of it. I have the set list on my phone, but they started the show with a one of the songs from 72, and nobody knew it.
Wow.
And from that point on, you've seen people starting to sit down already during the first song. It was like, this is not a good start.
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love REO just like everybody else, but last night was not one of their better shows.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a shame. It is.
Darn it. But, well, at least you're being honest and you're not bashing them. I mean,
no. I hope nobody takes it that way, because again, I've seen them numerous times. I'll go to see them again,
Oh, I would go to see them again. I mean, we saw
absolutely.
Al brought this up to me. He goes, "Hey, remember we saw REO a couple of years ago, and we left early. We did not leave early because of REO Speedwagon. We left early because the venue was terrible. I mean, they kept telling us to sit down. Now, when you're front row,
right,
I don't want to sit down. I'm just saying, I don't care what row I'm in. I don't want to sit down, especially in an REO show. And it was nonstop. They were telling our entire row, sit down. It's like, first of all, I'm not in kindergarten. So we left because we were just too frustrated. We said, we could not
You couldn't enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Nope. No. So that is why we left early. However, they were fantastic. And I absolutely love REO Speedwagon. And I know you do too. And it's
I do.
Not taken the wrong way at all. But you're absolutely right. I mean, remember, these guys have been off the road for a year and a half.
Exactly. So it could be as what they call road rust, and they need to get back into the rhythm of things. And it could be that. And again, these guys ain't young. So,
it's kind of crazy you say that, because now the Rolling Stones just announced they're starting their tour back up
all that
in September. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is Mick Jagger 77 now, or is he still 76? I'm not even sure. But that's on the older side. I'm just saying. No,
it is.
No shaming. But it's, he's great. He is keeping himself in definitive shape. However, it's a lot of work to be on the road, as you know, because
exactly. It is. I mean, it's a lot of people don't know, but I mean, it's you need sleep, your voice, your nutrition, and certain routines you got to do. It's a lot involved.
Yeah, and
it's not just you show up to the show, you play, and you leave. It is a lot involved.
Right, and you travel in the United States, whereas these guys are traveling the world.
Exactly.
So there's planes, trains, and automobiles, I'm sure. So it's a lot of not only the traveling, but then you're tired from traveling, and you got to rehearse, and then there's all the other stuff involved. So you're absolutely right. And it makes me sad because I try to not think about it, but I think the next few years are going to the landscape's going to start changing for sure.
It is. I think it is too, because a lot of the bands that we grew up with are going to go by the wayside. And I know, but hey, we always have them in our memory. We have them in our heart, And that's why I still enjoy going to these shows. Maryland Baltimore has it's what's called an M3 Rock Festival.
I heard
they have that every year for the past 15, 20 years, and I've gone every year, and it's all 80s bands. And people say, why do you go see these 80s bands? It's because they're still bringing us the music that we grew up on and enjoy even today. So
Yeah.
why not? You know,
Did you go to the M3 this year?
I did not. I missed it because of my surgery. Yeah.
Oh, dang,
Yeah.
sir.
I think it was the first year I missed in years, but
Yeah.
you know, I was tempted though. I was
Well,
tempted,
I'm sure you
but
were.
but
Now,
yeah. So
what do you think about, because again, I do think about all of these different things. Do you think there are going to be some people who are just not going to go to live shows anymore? To me, it looks like a lot of these shows are just selling out very, very fast. But then on the other hand, I have heard rumblings from people that they are just not interested to go to a live
mhm,
show anymore because of everything that's happened over the
right.
past year and a half. People's mindsets have changed. How do you feel about that?
Based off of what I seen last night, people are going to shows. Definitely. You know, and I hope they do. You're going to have people that's going to be leery
Yeah,
and they're going to be afraid. But I think once they see and get the message out that people are going, and these shows, like you said, these shows are selling out fast.
they are.
So that alone tells me that people, you know, they've been pinned up for a year and a half. They want their live music back, and it's back. So don't wait, don't procrastinate to get those tickets because they're gone.
It's true. I
Sure.
mean, if you know a show is happening that day, you better
Mhm.
get your ticket
Well, that's
because
the problem now because we're all going to go broke
I
because they're
know.
all coming out at once. And then now you got to pick and choose what show did you want to go to. And it's like, no, I'm not picking and choosing. I'm taking out a loan.
I know, right? I'm refinancing the house. No, I'm
I
not.
know.
I'm not doing that. I'm
No.
just not.
Yep. So,
So what about Journey, Mark? When are you going to go see them?
oh, good question. Um, I have a couple shows in my sights right now. I'm actually I don't know if I'm gonna pull it off, but I'm trying to do a 3 day in a row. They're
What
actually I think
all Journey?
Friday night, August 20th. I think they're in Hard Rock, Atlantic City, New Jersey. The
Okay.
very next night is Saturday night. They're about an hour and a half away from there in New York.
Oh my
And
God.
then Sunday, they're back down here in like near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is only an hour and a half drive from my house. So I was like, do I do the trifecta here or not? Now, of course, you know, Dawn has something to say about that one, but I mean, if need be, I can just do the Atlantic City show and be happy.
Right. Are they going to New York City or somewhere else in New York?
It was somewhere else in New York, but I Googled it and it was only like an hour and a half drive from Atlantic City. So I don't know how far up north into New York they were, but
I'm kind
no
of
drives too far.
yeah. I'm kind of hoping they start adding more shows to their tour list though,
I
because
think
I
they
want to
will.
go.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to go to Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
However, is what it is, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
just can't do it right now.
Right.
Um,
I
so
mean,
I'm
those
really
prices were really crazy, weren't they? And again, they finally came out with the single day passes, but they were
correct.
just ridiculous too.
And to me, maybe I'm misreading it wrong, but it looked like it was all general admission too.
I know. So
No,
that's right.
so I'm like, I'm going to pay all that money for a
Hmm.
ticket, two tickets,
Right.
airfare, hotel,
Hmm.
and I don't even have a seat.
Right.
I'm just not.
No.
No.
No. It'd be great to be there and be fun, but it's just no,
Yeah.
not worth it. I don't think. Yep.
So, did you hear the rumor? Gary Stuckey actually talked about it. He noticed Dean Castronovo
I
in
saw
the
it in the video.
Marco Mendoza.
I saw that in their
Gary,
rehearsal video. It was like,
Gary's thinking Journey Through Time. What do you think about it?
I think it'll happen again.
Really? Because I was so, I don't want to, all right, I'm not going to say the pissed word. I just said pissed. But I was so pissed they didn't come here. You know, I'm like, I
Right.
would have totally, they did 4 shows.
That was it. And they were
And
all out in California. Yeah.
And the reviews were so amazing. And
Yep. They
anyone who
were.
went to those shows said, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
it was so good. I'm hoping that they do it. I
I
really
hope they do too. Yep. I really do. I mean, and they do it somewhere else that's, other than West Coast,
Yeah. East Coast. Thanks.
East Coast, that'd be great. New York City, something like that.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
It would be. So,
Yeah.
Mark, I thank you. I really thank you because just getting back into the live music
Mhm.
and knowing that you and your wife went to that great festival last night with Styx REO
Mhm.
Speedwagon,
Yeah.
here we go. We're on our way, and
We
that's
are on our way. Yes.
amazing.
Yeah. And I hope it continues on and people get back to the shows and start enjoying themselves again, because just like you and me, music's a big part of people's lives, and it becomes memories. It really does. It's great. I can remember back, going to shows and where I was and who I seen and where I sat, there's memories stick with you. So music's a big part of everyone's lives, and we just need to keep rocking. Just got to keep it going. That's it. That's it.
Mark, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And hope to talk to you soon.